Now for a couple of stories concerning the police, and it's in the southwestern region of the country. To begin with, the Oyo State Police Command have given 12 pupils drawn from primary and secondary schools of police officers, that is, the children are children of police officers, at the Police Children's School, Eleyele, Ibadan, scholarships up to university level in line with the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Solomon Arase's directive to cater for exceptional children and policemen lost in the line of duty. The command also lined up 17 suspected criminals whose offences range from illegal arms manufacturing, fraud to armed robbery. Addressing journalists at the command headquarters, Eleyele, Ibadan, Police Commissioner Adeleye Oyebade says the command has taken measures to discourage bank robbery and other forms of organized criminal activity in the state. And the Inspector General of Police's Special Task Force on Cattle Rustling have arrested 22 suspected cattle rustlers and recovered over 300 cattle in Zamfara state, that's in the northwest. Receiving the cows for onward distribution to the owners, Governor Yari says he's already established a committee for cattle rustling, which will immediately commence verification of the owners.
Freedom is bliss, and these 310 cows, 105 sheep, and 22 donkeys are experiencing that joy. They have just been rescued from cattle rustlers in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria. Paraded are the 22 suspects along with their weapons: 3 AK-47 rifles, 1 pump action, 1 locally made revolver, 91 live ammunition, 11 cartridges, and 12 motorcycles which they use for transportation. Receiving the cattle is the Zamfara State Governor, who along with the Commissioner of Police says enough is enough.
These people that are doing this act, they're the enemy of the society, and the government will never fold their arms looking at this menace to continue in the state. It's part of a promise that immediately we have the new administration in place, this kind of mess will be a history. So they shouldn't take us for granted that government is folding its arm. We are going to pursue them seriously. We must have a relative peace in the country and in the state and in the region.
Definitely, this is a warning signal for them. That's Zamfara State is not a place for them to stay. They either forsake their arm or they leave the Zamfara State. That's why we continue arresting them and prosecute them according to the law.
Cattle rustling is an activity that has continuously plagued the nation. An arrest such as this is a sign that the days for this nefarious act are numbered.
The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, has expressed his disappointment with the pace of work at the Ilorin-Jeba-Mokwa Road. The minister observed that the slow pace of work is due to paucity of funds. He also said there may be a need to review the Procurement Act to enable government pay contractors handling big projects more than 15% of their mobilization fee.
This is the Ilorin-Jeba-Mokwa Road. It is an important road because it connects the northern part of the country to the south. However, the road is in a deplorable state. A contract for the rehabilitation of the road was awarded in 2013, but there's nothing to show for it.
We must change that part of the procurement law that limits mobilization for road contracts to only 15%. It doesn't make sense. Contractors can't fully mobilize. They need materials on site, and anything less than 40% is really a joke. And hoping that the budget will be passed very quickly, what the nation needs now is an emergency action. Not declaration of emergency. We declare too many emergencies. This is the time to take emergent and sensible action, fast track the passage of that budget so that we can change this situation.
As part of his tour of projects under his ministry in the North Central, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing also visited the Zungari Power Project in Niger State. The community had stalled work at the plant for the past 2 years over compensation claims. He assured them that the issue will be resolved as soon as the contractor is allowed to resume work at the plant. At a meeting with the Niger State governor, the minister made a case for compensation and also urged the state government to consider taking advantage of the water from the Zungari Dam for irrigation purposes.
Driving from Lorry to here, we saw vast farmlands, and we saw that there was no water supply, not sufficient irrigation, and we think that there is enormous scope to use the water flowing through the dam to support agriculture in this state. So the instructions I'm giving this evening is for them to commence an immediate study without delaying the work that they are doing, to see how we can add on the irrigation support to Niger State and to the farmers on both sides.
I would like to thank you for your thoughts on how we can address the potential in terms of agriculture irrigation. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago when I saw you at Abuja and I met with the Minister of Water Resources and most of the ministers, and we discussed most of these things you saw for yourself today.
Conceived in 1982, power construction work started on the site in 2012, and the Zungari power plant is expected to deliver 700 megawatts of electricity when completed.
Finally, let's tell you of foreign investments in Nigerian states. Let's take Anambra State now, which has attracted $3.2 billion worth of investment in the past 23 months. That's according to Governor Willie Obiano, who said this during the signing of about 23 billion naira memorandum of understanding with Shira & Company to convert waste to electricity, and another indigenous company, Dozie Investment Limited, in the area of housing.
Governor Willie Obiano meets his visitors. These are investors with whom the Anambra State government had struck a deal for an investment in the waste-to-energy and urban housing development in the state. They are here to sign a memorandum of understanding. The investors give an insight of the benefits of the projects.
This is an 8-megawatt project that solves 2 problems, the waste problem and the power problem. And a lot of times we think about things separately, but this is one instance where we take one issue that we're having with waste generally, and it's across the country, and convert that to our benefit.
This project is designed to impact positively on the lives of the people through provision of comfortable accommodation and employment generation.
Governor Obiano outlines the amount of raw materials available for the waste management project. He also speaks on the proposed housing units.
This very project will attract 175 direct jobs and over 3,000 indirect jobs. I'm happy that Dozie Investment is going to do high-rise buildings there, containing 250 flats per high-rise. We try to encourage people to come and set up 20, 30 story buildings. Yeah.
The housing and power projects are meant to promote urban development and will create about 1,700 direct jobs and 3,500 indirect jobs. They will also enhance the state's internal revenue generation capacity.
And that's it for this edition of News Across Nigeria. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide McCall.